Hey guys, Clumsy here, and welcome back to ETS2. We are exactly where we left off in the previous episode, if you remember that trailer at the back. That cool looking animating trailer. And that pretty messed up trailer over there, I think it flipped even more since the last episode. We are currently in Wick, and yes, it's still moving. It's not yet done flipping over. I'm not sure how that happened, but let's leave it. So we are in Wick, somehow in the outskirts. We are going to Turso. We'll be picking up something, and then we will be moving to Iceland. We'll be picking up a job there, and we'll be going to, oh, how do you read this? Radar for but it's going to be a very short trip, so we'll see how we can extend it if we need to. Right, but for now I decided to drive to where the trailer is, and then drive with the trailer to Iceland, to the beginning of Iceland. And yes, we are still in this beautiful MP1. Still my favorite, although a couple of very nice trucks have come out. I don't know, it still has a classic appeal to me. So I think for this series, for this main series at least, we'll be keeping it in the meantime. I would have loved to try out the Volvo F88 here as well, but the problem with the Volvo F88 is it's such a classic truck that I see two main problems with it. And if you haven't heard, there is a new update with the Volvo F88. I just released a mod spotlight video the other day, I think, by the time this video released, and there are now rigid options, rigid chassis, tandem trailers and stuff, so it's made even better. The Volvo F88 by XPS. The problem with that truck is, number one, it's not the strongest truck out there, so it is a bit difficult when you try to haul something heavy or go through some pretty slopey hills. And the other problem is that it's a bit too classic looking, so the trailers don't really match. The normal trailers don't really match it. So, oh crap. And I completely forgot that we're in Scotland. My bad. My bad. Okay. And why is there no car around? Is traffic turned on? One sec. Traffic. It is on. That's weird. Maybe just in this road. We'll observe it. We'll see. Oh, okay, I see some trucks. Okay, yeah, it's just not very populous, this area. And yeah, the other problem with the F88 is it's a bit too classic, so the normal trailers don't really merge with it, don't really blend with it so well, so it doesn't look that good. And so I would have to always pick the matching Casper trailers by XPS, and with that it's a bit limiting, because not all jobs would have that kind of trailer, so we would need to be very picky. We would have very limited job options. But if you guys want the F88 as our next truck, let me know, and we for sure we can somehow make it work. Yeah, we'll make it work. We'll find a way. But for now, MP1 is the way to go. And yes, we'll be arriving at Iceland. What is that with this truck? In the distance, something popping in. I think it's an island. Maybe it's the Faroe Islands. I'm not really sure. Okay, right. So Wick, Turso, left. Yes. Slow down here. It's been a while since I've driven without a trailer behind my back, and I'm pretty excited about the trailer ownership thing. Have you guys seen that? The teaser, 1.32 teaser from the SKRS blog, where they highlighted they showed how it would be. Like, there would be an actual trailer shop trailer dealers, and you can buy different types of trailers. You can add different types of accessories, and you can really own them. And then I'm really looking forward to what they have up to update next, where they will show how you can take jobs with those trailers that you will now be able to own. So I think 1.32 is going to be a momentous version, a game-changing version with actual gameplay changes. Because before, yeah, we've had some very nice updates, like interior zoom has been added, trailer cables has been added, you know, things like that, but nothing really game-changing in terms of the actual mechanics, right? But with this trailer ownership, I think that will really, literally be a game changer. Really looking forward to that one. What else? Other news. ProMods 2.30. You might have seen Squirrel's stream last Sunday. If you haven't, I would highly suggest that you do, because it's very much a ProMods teaser hype. So you'll be able to see what new areas are going to be released with ProMods 2.30. Now ideally, I'm not sure when I will get it, but ideally I should be able to get it earlier as well, so I can focus. I can also show you guys the new areas, and we can focus on some areas that you would want to see. But I'm not sure when ProMods will give me access. Maybe by next week I should have access to it. We will see. Also, I'm not sure when they are planning to release it. If they're planning to wait for 1.32, or maybe they'll release it beforehand and then they'll just update it for 1.32. Not really sure. Regardless though, should be pretty amazing. Man, and this view looks absolutely wonderful, isn't it? Scotland is beautiful. Goodness. Is it this one? Okay, I almost missed our stop because I was looking at the clouds and the horizon so much. Good thing I saw that Sano sign. Trailer is still here, I think. Yeah, that's the yellow thing there. It's going to be a very short trip, but maybe we can extend it somehow when we get there. Maybe when we get to Iceland, maybe we can take a job and just stop somewhere if it's taking too long already. We will see. So a couple of options. Svarjmuller. We can go with the gray one. A very neutral gray color. Very unassuming. 26 tons. Crap. And going to Iceland, that might not be the best combination, but we won't be going through the hilly parts of Iceland just yet. Just the entrance, so to speak. So shouldn't be that bad, I hope. We will see. Anyway, yes. So what have you seen? I haven't really watched the entirety of Squirrel's stream. I've only watched the beginning where he shows the map and a couple of places in the UK. And I'm sure bricks had something to do with that. Look beautiful, and the Easter eggs are amazing. Did you guys see the Horse Mountain? The Horse Mountain Easter egg. Very, very witty. Really looking forward to playing with ProMods 2.30. And yeah, new places aside from the UK. Touch it up. New places. Mainly, I think the major thing was in the Balkans area. The Balkans region. Including Greece and Cyprus, I believe. Now that's quite an interesting thing. Finally reaching those countries. Now I have no clue how they look like in real life. But ProMods being ProMods, I have a very good feeling they're going to make it pretty accurate. Also, Bricks has been sharing some screenshots over at the Discord server, and he's like showing the screenshot from in-game from the map that he's made and comparing it with the Google Street Views, and man, oh man, it looks so much like the real thing. Super accurate. Love it. sure if you live by those areas, you'll be able to recognize the places directly. So this place, if you see the distance, it's 1,000 kilometers, but actually like 1,000 of that would be ferry, and only 100 would be driving, something like that. So it's not very long in terms of driving, 49 hours. But yeah, we'll find a way somehow. We'll find a way somehow. Because I do want to explore a bit of Iceland, at least before we go to ProMods 2.30, because by the time 2.30 hits, then we'll need to focus on the new areas that are released by 2.30, right? So we might need to go out of Iceland. So at least in this episode, we get to touch it a little bit. Good. So maybe we can go through some questions in the meantime. Let's see if I can answer some. And this might become a financial episode because of this question, but I love it. I love personal finance. I love budgeting. I love managing my finances. It's become a hobby since this year. Although to be honest, I was absolutely clueless about my finances until this year, and I'm what, 32 years old. Now that I know more, I mean, I'm not an expert. Hello? I'm not an expert, but I know a lot more than I did before. And now I'm really just saying to myself, man, I wish I've known this since college, even before. I wish my parents taught me this. But even my parents don't know it, because it's not something that's taught in school, weirdly enough. Something that is so essential to your daily living is not being taught in school. It's not being taught in home so much. It depends on your household. It's like a taboo thing. It's like a thing that is not mentioned, yeah. Money is not a very, how do you say, open topic. Man, I love these line of trucks in here. So how do we enter the ferry? We follow the directions. Nice lineup of trucks. Different colors, different brands. Just the whole shablam in there. Good. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Good, good, good. Okay, I see it. First in line, we have the VIP pass. The other trucks are waiting, but we just shoot inside. Is that guy taking photos of us? I think so, huh? Did I pass it? There we go. I did pass it. Good. But yes, I haven't even gone through the questions yet. So where am I going? Stromness? No, Torshavn. I hope I'm not pronouncing that too badly. But from here, we jump to Iceland. Yeah, so we pass through here first. But the question is from Jay, and he says, if you won 1 million USD, $1 million. Somehow sounds weird though, he says. What would you do with it? Like, how would I win that? I don't know. Win the lottery even if I don't bet on it. Okay, wait, let me see. Let me see. How are things here? So we basically... How about we go around? How do you call this place? Is it the Faroe Islands? Faroe Islands, indeed. And yes, basing on the colors, it's a different country altogether. Nice. Is it part of Denmark? Because they have the same color? Or is that just a color... a wrong color assignment? It looks the same though. You guys let me know. I'm sure someone told me this before, but being the goldfish memory person I am, I'm sure I forgot about it already. So let's go through there. Can we not pass by there? And do we stay on the left or right side of the street here? I have no clue. Let's just play it by ear. Alright, so if you won 1 million USD, what would you do with it? Now the fun answer would be like to spend it like nobody's business. Buy a car, buy a house, buy the ultimate gaming platform, ultimate gaming rig. And I'll probably do that, yes. Okay, looks like we stay on the right. In Faroe Islands, you stay on the right. Oh man, look at those reflections. Beautiful. This looks like a very nice place, huh? Can't remember this looking like this. It's been so long since I've gone here. Can I fit in? Thank you. Can you take a photo somewhere? Maybe here in the middle of the intersection. Why not? Over here would be a nice scene, I think. Photo op. So the short answer to that question is I would split it. I would split it to different chunks. There would be a chunk which would focus on buying stuff. Yeah, a chunk for buying stuff and making myself happy, so to speak. A chunk where I maybe share with my family. Yeah, and a majority, a huge chunk, just invested and saved up. So what I've learned so far, and yes, this will be like a financial kind of thing, so sorry in advance for others, but maybe you will pick up a thing or two and maybe it won't be that bad, so give it a chance, alright? Give it a chance. And let me just take one more photo because it's kind of hard to pinpoint a spot. Everything looks good. Maybe we can do it like so. That doesn't look bad. Let's include the road a bit. Something like this, maybe. Okay, I'm good. Alright, because how I see it is if I get a huge amount of money, $1 million, that's huge. It won't last me the lifetime if I just continue on spending it. But it will be like saving up for retirement. You know, that is the ultimate goal when you save for retirement. That you would have saved enough, you would have invested enough, that you can retire and not have a job and live off of what you've saved, right? And if you, if I win $1 million, it will be similar to like have been successful at saving up for retirement, something similar to that. And when you look at it from the retirement point of view, the money that you saved for retirement, you can't really spend it in one go. Yes, because if you do, what will you eat tomorrow? Like if you buy a house today, a plane today, a car today, what will you eat tomorrow? Instant noodles? So you have to pace yourself. You have to make sure that you have something for spending today, but you have to save the rest for tomorrow and put it in a place, not just in a bank, some of it in a bank, but you have to put it in a place where it would grow on its own. A very small percent should be fine, but yeah, it shouldn't be stagnant. Do I have to go in? Oh man, really? Okay, my trailer will hit the curb here, I think. And I'm not even sure if I can turn around, but fine. For the sake of that question mark, there we go. And then can I just go around here, please? So what I will do, the first thing I'll probably purchase from that 1 million USD, I'll probably buy the ultimate gaming rig. That's probably it. or maybe a house, depending on how much that is. Maybe pay a down payment on the house or something. Something to improve the quality of life today without spending too much. And then the rest, invest. And continue taking from it year after year. But making sure that it doesn't get depleted too fast, too much in a single year, so it can last me my entire lifetime. You know, not taking too little, but not taking too much either. That's the boring answer, but it's very practical. And I probably wouldn't quit my job, my full-time job. I wouldn't quit YouTube because it's what I love to do. Sharing videos with you guys, interacting with you guys, and just sharing different stuff with you, and you sharing stuff with me. So it's a community by now, and it's not the money for sure that keeps me going here. Because if it's just the money, then I probably would have stopped like years ago. There is barely any money here. Not for the small guys like me. But it's fun. I love it. And I enjoy it. And all the support you give really helps a lot. So every little thing you help me with, either that's financial support or the time you share with me, that's a huge thing for me. And I won't give that up for anything. So I won't quit YouTube. I won't quit my work, my full-time work, because I love my work as well. And honestly speaking, it's the money for sure, because I need to survive. But money is not the number one benefit of my company. It's not an asset. It's not the thing that I can be proud of to say. Like, in short, my company doesn't really pay well. Is this where it is? That is strange. Oh, there it is. Okay, very small. Very small on the side. So my company doesn't really pay well, but we have this unofficial benefit of being very lenient with the schedule. You know, your time is your own as long as you deliver, things like that. And I've grown close with my family at work, so to speak, my colleagues. And so yeah, I wouldn't quit it either, even if I had all the money in the world. And 1 million is not all the money in the world, but you get my point. One second, just reverse here. Okay, that should be good enough. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't quit it. I would actually continue how my life is today. I'll just have more comforts, I guess, and more security. So a bit better PC, maybe a better house if I can afford it. If not, then not really that important. But yeah, if I would want to win at something, you know, I'd rather get, instead of $1 million, I don't know, if you can somehow get 24 or more hours in a day, that would be the best. Time is the best gift I could ever ask for. It's a very nice boat, isn't it? But yes, $1 million, very welcome still. I wouldn't refuse that. So it will help a lot. It will really set me up for life, maybe. Not maybe for life, but if I invest it well, then maybe for life. Is it this one? No, I think it's around. Is it though? Wait a minute. It might be this one. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, Ferrayulega. I have no clue how to read that, sorry. I'm sure many of you don't either. But I'm sure some of you do, so pardon my butchering of that pronunciation. Going to follow the rules just because they say so. Good, alright. Looks like it's the right place. Just hoping that the guys didn't, the GPS didn't lead me to the wrong ship. There it is. What time is it? It's actually 7 PM. Wow, almost 8 PM. And still, the sun is bright. That's summer for you. And as we go more north, that becomes longer and longer, doesn't it? Good. Let's go. Not to Bergen. Not there. What is that? Hirtshals. Oh, Denmark. There. Seo is further. That's the one. 15 hours. So that should land us around what, 11 AM? Yeah, 11 AM. Good. Daytime trucking. Phew. And now we are back in Iceland. It's been a while, guys, but yes, we're here again. After a long time. Since when in the series have we been here? What episode? Can't remember, but I don't know, maybe 200 episodes ago. Not very scenic what this guy is taking photos of, but I love the snow. But I guess you could find a lot more scenic spots here. Yeah. There you have it. Actually, let's take another photo here. I kind of like that winding road with the colorful houses. And finally, the northern lights are very apt. The main menu screen finally becomes matching with where we are in here. That's the one. That's the one. Right. Yes. Let's go with that. Welcome back. At least we got here before the updates arrive. Because if either 1.32 arrives, when 1.32 beta arrives, then I'll probably have to turn off ProMods because it probably won't be compatible just yet. And I do want that trailer ownership, so we'll have to turn off ProMods when that happens. Or if 2.30 gets released, ProMods 2.30 gets released earlier, then I'll also have to leave Iceland because I'll have to explore the new areas in 2.30. So either way, we have to leave Iceland, so it's good that, yeah, we had a chance to check it out now. Is that a secret road? Interesting. Where is that headed? Can we check? After all, the destination is what? 85 kilometers away. Yeah, I think let's just explore the area. I don't see any barriers in there. There is no road in the GPS, but maybe there is a secret stuff somewhere. We'll see. Or maybe we just encounter an invisible wall somewhere. We'll just wing it. Oh yeah, there it is, the barrier. Yeah, our truck can still handle it. It's not so heavy actually, even with 26 tons of empty pallets, it's not so bad. Okay, I think this is the end of the line. Now the problem is, how the heck do we turn around? I said we'll wing it, so now we'll wing it. No trucks, it says. No, does it say no trucks? Not really. Closed. Okay. Closed for us, but not for the other trucks. This is probably not the wisest way to do it. somehow go off-road. I think this is the end. Oh, yeah. Bro, why are you doing this? He actually blocked me. Goodness. Okay. Just because of that, you get punishment. Diff lock. Now this becomes Mud Runner. You know what? To heck with it. Doesn't work. Cheater! Leave me be. The AI isn't cooperating. Okay, now we know that's a dead end. It was just a glorified dead end. No fancy Easter eggs in there. Alright, so yes, let's move on to the next question. That's my answer for the 1 million USD. Thanks for that question, Jay. The next question is, would you anytime, sooner or later, want to learn a different language? If yes, then which one would make sense to you? Yes, I've had a lot of thinking. I've had a lot of times when I wanted to learn a new language, but it depends on what my current interests are. It's very fickle. There's no like permanent thing that I really want to learn. So back when I was watching anime, and for sure I wanted to learn Japanese. Back when I was playing PlayStation 1, where most of the games that come to the Philippines were Japanese, I wanted to learn Japanese. Yeah. When I got into Chinese movies, like somehow I got addicted to Star Mandarin. So whenever I just keep watching that channel, all the Chinese movies, speaking in Mandarin and everything, and I was just reading the subtitles. I don't know, I got very hooked to it for some point. So during that time I wanted to learn Chinese. And then when I got exposed to OMSI and the other German simulators, I wanted to learn German. And when I met with my friend from Costa Rica last weekend, when in Costa Rica they speak Spanish, and I realized how widespread Spanish is, right? And so it's a very nice and not that difficult to learn, I would say, because Filipino language has its roots as well, has a lot of intersections, similarities with Spanish. Man, this is getting pretty tight and heavy. So yes, a lot of different languages, but overall I think if I would learn something, it would either be Spanish or more likely Chinese, Mandarin specifically. Mandarin is probably the most useful for me because I live in Singapore and a lot of the folks know how to speak Chinese, Mandarin, and it's going to be a very useful skill in interacting with some of the locals, and even with having like unlocking that in some like business opportunities, they require like Mandarin speaking folks, and when you speak the language there is immediately a bond, like an unwritten bond. I remember my mom, because I'm part Chinese as well. I think I'm 1/4 Chinese, but Chinese in the Philippines, usually what's spoken is Hokkien, not Mandarin. So my mom knows how to speak Hokkien, and she always likes to interact. She likes to talk with people, and whenever she encounters someone who is Chinese, she tries to speak to them, like asks them, "Do you know Hokkien?" And when the other person says they do, then it's like they're immediately like they seem like friends already, that kind of thing. So there is an immediate bond, especially when you're haggling, when you're in a store and you know how to speak Chinese. Then usually the other person, the person selling, would give you a discount more likely than if you didn't know it. So some advantages, some simple advantages, and some practical advantages. I still have diff lock. That's not too good. Do I? One sec. How do I know which one is locked and unlocked? It does change. I guess that's not diff lock, yeah? Because it's not red. I don't know. We'll see when the truck breaks. Look, there's even like snow on the tires. Oh yeah, it's been a while. There is no snow on the front axle though, interestingly enough. But yes, Mandarin is probably the most useful for me, but I think it's also the hardest. I don't know. When my mom tried to teach us before, we would just laugh at her, and mainly my dad would just laugh at us because we wouldn't be able to get the pronunciation. You know, Chinese has a very tricky pronunciation, like the same word can be pronounced 4 times, having a different meaning each time depending on your pronunciation or your intonation, things like that. So I never got that part, and if I haven't gotten that core part, I'm not sure if I can get the others. Although maybe I just need to put more effort into it. Because when I was a kid, we didn't really see the importance, and now I'm like regretting that I didn't learn it. Yeah, my mom was always right. She kept on saying before that yeah, you're going to regret it if you don't learn now, and we just laughed at her. Now I'm sure she's the one laughing at us. Yeah, I don't think it's essential, but it's very, very, very useful, especially now that China is starting to take over the world, so to speak. Would be very helpful for business, for everyday conversations, things like that. And yeah, they actually teach Chinese here. They teach Mandarin here in Singapore for people in school. So I missed that, but maybe I will learn it someday. But yeah, if not Chinese, if my skills cannot handle Chinese really, if my brain is too old for Chinese, I hope it's not, I might learn Spanish, because Spanish very, very applicable, you know. If you're in Spain, of course, if you're in the US, in some of the more Mexican or Hispanic, I'm not sure how you would call it, influenced areas, like what was it? Was it Florida, or was it Miami specifically? There are a lot of people know how to speak Spanish. And of course in the Latin America countries, Mexico, Costa Rica, everywhere else except Brazil. And even in Brazil, I learned from my friend. So in Brazil, we know that they speak in Portuguese, right? And my friend is Costa Rican, so he speaks Spanish. And I asked him, so how do you speak with the people from Brazil? Do you guys speak in English? So actually, he said not really. Like, he had to learn the language, he had to learn Portuguese. But before he learned it, they prefer it better if you speak to them in Spanish. Because even if the languages aren't exactly the same, Spanish is closer to Portuguese than English is. So they understand you better. So they can like get a hint of what you're learning. So I guess English is not a big thing over there. Yeah. So Spanish, even in Portuguese, and even in Brazil, maybe also in Portugal, I don't know, Spanish is more applicable. And yeah, I think it's one of the most I would say it's like, I'm not sure in terms of use, but maybe if you like treat English as the quote-unquote universal language, the most common language, You probably have Spanish as the second most. I would say Spanish and Chinese are probably tied there. But that's just my ballpark figure without knowing the facts or anything like that. So I may be wrong. If I am and you know better, let me know in the comments, okay? It would be interesting to learn. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. I would love to learn a language, but I don't have much need for it. So that's why I don't put much effort into it. But maybe when an opportunity arises, maybe I will take it. I have a friend who she lives here in Singapore, and she's so much into anime and Japanese culture. She actually learned Japanese, so she like applied at a class, you know. Even having full-time work, she went to the nighttime classes and everything like that, just because she wants to learn Japanese, so she wouldn't have to rely on the subtitles anymore when she watches. Things like that. And so when she goes to Japan, where she goes so often, because how much she loves the place, she can actually interact with people, and that's nice of motivation. But yeah, I guess I don't have the same level of interest. Maybe someday we will see. Thanks for that question, Jay. By the way, guys, if you haven't seen this yet, an update has been made with the subtle icons. You can see the parking icon is a bit different now. It's sharp, it's pointed. So I suggested this to Kirill so that you would know which direction the truck should be facing. And I think it's very helpful. I think it's very useful. So thanks, Kirill, for working on that. And I think it's almost in its final version. I don't think any more updates are planned. I think he's just waiting for, I don't know, he mentioned it. I think he's just waiting for maybe a release together with Foggy Weather. I can't remember what he said, but yeah, it's the version is almost done. It's just waiting for a public release. Can I move? Thank you. Should be okay, I think. Yeah, and what I like about this line is it actually changes depending on the, like, it's reflective or something. At night it really is super visible, so it's like glow in the dark, and at day you can also see it very clearly, and it turns green as well, and it has that please park the trailer here thing. I like that. There we go. A good thing we had enough fuel. Didn't realize we were running out of fuel. 145 kilometers. Wow. And that took us 40 minutes. Interesting. But that's how it is in Iceland, with all the bends and the hills that you have to traverse. Distance is not as covering the distance is not as fast. Yes. But yeah, welcome to Iceland, everybody. After a long time, we are back. Now, if there are no new updates by next week, we will be staying here. But if there are, then we will be exploring that. As much as I would like to stay in Iceland, I'm more really excited about the new areas and new features that are planned. So I'm hoping there are some updates by next week. We will see though. We will see. Why did I do this? Why did I reverse and park into nothingness? I'm not sure. But this truck, still my favorite. Still my personal favorite. Love it. 90s truck. I'm a 90s kid, so you get the picture. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, comment, share. Check out Patreon page in the video description if you want to support the channel directly. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Clumsy trucking, everybody, and bye-bye.